Welcome back to another show of Golf Tips. I'm your host and teaching professional, Gary Bauer. On today's show, we'll again visit Homestead Golf Course, a beautiful course to play in Tip City, Ohio. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back. Thanks for watching. At this time, I would like to introduce the course superintendent here at Homestead Golf Course, Mr. Rob Crawford. Hi, Rob.
Hi, Gary. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. So tell us a little bit about the course.
The course here at Homestead is set up on 143 acres of land. We have 24 acres of fairways. We have 2 acres of tee boxes, 3 acres of very high quality greens here at Homestead.
Challenging course.
Very challenging course.
But yet a very fair course.
And we have 68 sand traps on the course.
Wow, quite a bit, yeah.
A lot of sand traps. We have 6 ponds that come into play out on the course. Very, very friendly walking course from green to tee.
Green to tee. Now, I played this course a couple weeks ago. Again, fantastic shape. The greens were fast. What do you think they run on a stimp meter?
We've got them running probably about 10 right now.
About 10?
June, July, once I get the roller out, I can get them rolling about 11.
Fast.
11. Yeah, I can make it very challenging on the greens. We have some undulation out on our greens, and get them rolling, it makes it tough.
Yeah, it does. But very fair course, very fair greens. Now, tell us a little bit about your practice facility, the driving range.
The driving range itself, we have a hitting area, very nice tee box. We've got 6 mats. We have 4 target greens, consist of 100 yards, 150, 200, 250 yards. Then we have a couple of smaller ones from 50 to 75. Great targets.
A great facility to practice your golf game.
Excellent facility, yes.
Absolutely. Hey, Rob, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. And next we'll have Mr. Dave Knife, the owner here at Homestead Golf Course.
Thank you.
Dave.
Hello, Gary.
Nice to see you again.
Good seeing you again.
I understand your course has a lot of outings scheduled here in June and July.
Yes, we do. In fact, it's all starting today on the 1st. We're having the Tip City Rotary Club having their annual fundraiser. A week from tomorrow, Melton Foundation is having a large golf outing of 128 people. 2 days later, Dayton Freight is having a large outing of 144 people. Then we've got a week, let's see, on the 16th, Tip City Basketball is having their fundraiser. Miami Valley Traffic Club the day before is having a fundraiser, a senior outing on the 23rd. Vandalia Kick Line going into July is on the 15th of July. Butler Basketball is having their fundraiser on the 14th. And Snyder Brick and Block on the 26th of July.
So quite a few outings here at the course.
Yeah, a lot.
And what a fantastic course to come out and play. At the end of the show, we'll have a list of those outings for you to see. We'll be right back with more golf tips. Welcome back. On this segment of the show, I'm going to show you how to hit a pitch shot. And there is a difference between chipping and pitching. If you're chipping, you're up by the green, your wrist stays stiff and firm. With a pitch shot, you do hinge or break your wrist. So I'll show you the proper technique on how to set up. And I'm a right-handed golfer. If you're a left-handed golfer, it's just the opposite of what I'm about to say. Now I grabbed my 56-degree wedge. I'm about 25 yards from this practice green. I'm going to play the ball back in my stance off the inside right knee. Again, if you're a left-handed golfer, it's just the opposite of what I'm saying. So we position the ball back in our stance, have a little bit of an open stance. So I got my left foot back. And again, I'm going to hinge my wrists to hit this pitch shot. Again, chipping, you keep the wrist stiff and firm. Pitching, that's where you're back far enough where you must hinge or break your wrist. So we set up, got the ball back in my stance. Pretty good. Putting, okay. Now again, distance from the golf ball, you should have your hands under your chin, club head and back of the ball. I've mentioned that on previous shows. So you want the ball back in your stance, my hands will be under my chin, club head and back of the ball. I'm going to play the ball off the inside right knee, and I will hinge my wrists a little bit. Okay, we're putting. All right. So hands are under my chin, ball position is back in my stance, inside right knee. I'm going to break my wrist. Now people ask me all the time during the lessons, and I've been a golf professional almost 34 years, they say, well, how far am I supposed to bring the club back? I don't know. Some people are stronger than others. You have to figure that out yourself. How far to bring the club back and through the shot, okay? And that's just practice. So again, ball position back in my stance, going to hinge my wrist. This is called pitching. A little bit of an open stance, my left foot is back. And there we go. All right, let's try some more. I've seen a lot of people, they're out there on the golf course playing, and for some reason they want to take a practice swing or two and they're real rigid, real stiff. Well, with golf, you got to be relaxed. You know, the motion is back with the arms, down with the arms. Pitching, you want to hinge, break your wrists. You know, you can't be rigid and stiff out here. You got to be relaxed. It's a fun game. Break your wrists, right on through it for a pitch shot. Ball position inside right knee. Hands are under my chin. And that's how you hit a pitch shot. You play the ball back in your stance off the inside right knee. Again, just the opposite if you're a left-handed golfer. I had a little bit of an open stance. My left foot was back. I hinged my wrist. On a pitch shot, you break or hinge your wrist. Chip shot is when you're up by the green, around the collar of the green, you keep your wrist stiff and firm. But on a pitch shot, you break your wrist. Next, I'm going to show you how to hit a flop shot. We'll be right back with more golf tips. Welcome back. As I mentioned on this segment, I'm going to show you how to hit a flop shot. A flop shot's not a hard shot to hit. That last segment, I hit a pitch shot where I hinged my wrist. I was going to the green, which was about 25 yards away. It was a pop-up green, so it was sort of hard. It was tough to get the ball to set down. With a flop shot, you hit the ball higher, the ball should not roll quite as far. So now let's go over the basics on hitting a flop shot. And again, if you're a left-handed golfer, it's just the opposite of what I'm going to say. First, you play the ball forward in your stance now with a flop shot off your inside left heel. So I line the ball up off my left heel. I still have an open stance. Third, you lay the club almost flat on its back. This flop shot I'm going to hit is only about 12 to 15 feet. So you lay the club almost flat on its back. You got to trust this. Now, I tell my students, where the grooves are on the face of the club, that's how you start your backswing. You follow the grooves. You actually loop the club out and slide it up under the ball. It'll pop the ball up and the ball shouldn't roll very far. So again, I still have an open stance. Ball position changes though versus chipping and pitching. Ball position with the flop shot off the inside left heel, forward in my stance. Lay the club flat on its back, and you just loop the club out and slide the club up under the ball. Pops it right up. Okay? And the key is you got to stay down. You got to trust yourself that you can get the club head up under the ball, loop it out. Ooh, almost went in. Okay? So I got an open stance. I line the ball up off my inside left heel, so it's forward in my stance now. I lay the club flat on its back. Now I'm just off of the fringe. I'm going to follow the grooves on the club. The grooves on that club face are going out this way. So I start the club face out that way and loop it up underneath it. Okay? not a hard shot at all. Now you want to use this shot when you're close to the green. You might have to hit over a bunker, or it's an elevated green like this. You want to pop it up where you can't chip it. Obviously, if you chipped it, kept your wrist stiff and firm, it would hit on the green and roll quite a ways. So play the ball forward in your stance, open club face, got the club flat on its back. Gonna loop it out. Okay. Open stance, ball position off the left heel. Got the club flat on its back. I'm going to loop the club out this way and slide it up under the ball. It's going to pop it up. And again, this is called a flop shot. Get in. Ooh. Just trust yourself, stay down and through it, loop the club out, slide the club head right up under the ball. Almost. Okay, a couple more here. So stay down, loop the club out, get the club flat on its back. And that's how you hit a flop shot. You play the ball forward in your stance off the inside left heel. You have a little bit of an open stance. You can lay the club flat on its back if you're close to the green. Follow the grooves on the golf club, the face of the club. Loop the club out, slide the club up under the ball. You do hinge your wrists, obviously. You're right by the putting surface. Not a hard shot, but it does take a lot of practice. Now in this last segment, we're going to do a playing lesson out on Homestead Golf Course. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now in that last segment, the flop shot, it's not a hard shot to hit. It just takes a lot of practice. You do hinge your wrist pretty quick on the flop shot, but stay down and through it. Now on this, the last segment of today's show, we're going to do a playing lesson on the 4th hole here at Homestead Golf Course, a challenging par 5. Now the first thing I want to do, I've got my driver. Make sure when you tee the ball up, you want half the ball above the top edge of the club head, half into the club face. You don't want to tee the ball up extremely low or extremely high to pop it up. So half the ball above the top edge of the club head, half into the club face. Now, I'm a right-handed golfer. It's just the opposite if you're a left-handed golfer. You play the ball off your left heel. So I'm going to line the ball up off the inside left heel. For balance, my feet are going to be shoulder width. Distance from the golf ball. How far do you stand from the ball? Well, on previous shows I've talked about that. You want your hands under your chin, the club head and back of the ball, and that will give you the proper distance from the golf ball. You don't want to be reaching out for the ball or standing real close on top of the ball. You want your arms to just hang down, come back with the arms, down with the arms, and turn. I've talked about how your hands will finish around by your left shoulder, left ear. Your right knee will turn up by your left knee, and that's your weight transfer. So it's just arms and turn. Core strategy. Now I've teed up pretty much in the middle of this tee box. There is out of bounds to the right, but it's pretty far to the right. To the left there is a bunker up there. My goal is, and I hit a little bit of a fade, is to just fade it out into the middle or close to the center of the fairway. So I pick my alignment, always standing back of the ball. I get my alignment. I try to pick a spot out in front of the golf ball that's in direct line to the area I want to hit it to. So I've got that picked out. You can pick out a leaf, a twig, an old divot, a spot. Take your club face and ball, line it up to that area, that spot. Feet are shoulder width, hands are under your chin. Ball position left heel. And it's just arms and turn. Well, that's perfect. Hands faced around by my left shoulder, left ear. Right knee up by left knee. And that should be pretty close to the middle of the fairway. Let's go find that ball and try it again. Not a bad drive, pretty much the middle of the fairway. Probably hit that about 275, 277. Now I've elected to use a 3-wood on my next shot. I could lay up, maybe hit a 5-iron, but I'm gonna go ahead. I won't reach the green from here, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit my 3-wood. Again, with all your woods, you play the ball off the inside left heel. Just the opposite if you're a left-handed golfer. Hands hang below my chin. Let my arms come back and through it. Some people, they like to hinge their wrists right away. Some people hinge their wrists later on the takeaway or backswing. That's totally up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. The key is to keep your shoulders level, go around and through the shot, hands face around by your left shoulder, left ear. Hitting it off the turf, so to speak, off the grass is not hard. If you rock your shoulders up and down, that's where a lot of golfers get in trouble. If they drop their right shoulder on the downswing, they'll hit behind the ball. They will hit it heavy or fat. If on the downswing they pull their left shoulder up, they will top it or hit it low. So the key is, it's just arms and turn. Your hands will come around by your left shoulder, left ear. Now again, walking back the ball, pick a spot out here in front of the golf ball that's in direct line to your target area. A leaf, a twig, maybe an old divot, whatever. You take your club face and ball and you line it up towards that spot. That gives you your alignment. Back with the arms, down with the arms, and turn. Okay, let's go ahead and hit this one. And again, I've got a 3-wood, so play it off your left heel. My feet are shoulder width for balance. Hands are below my chin. Arms and turn. Oh, that's great. Right down the left side. My right knee turned up by my left knee. That gives me my weight transfer. My hands finished around. I kept my shoulders level. I didn't drop my right shoulder to hit behind the ball. I did not pull my left shoulder up to top it or hit it low. So it's just arms and turn around and through the shot. Let's go find that ball and try it again. Hey, that wasn't a bad shot either. Probably about 30 yards from the green. Now, you remember earlier in the show we talked about the pitch shot where you do hinge your wrists? Well, guess what? I've got to hit that pitch shot. Now, again, I've elected to hit my 56-degree wedge. I'm going to play the ball back in my stance off the inside right knee, just the opposite if you're a left-handed golfer. How hard to swing? That's a guess. Throughout all my years of being a golf professional, at least once, twice a week, I'll have someone say, one of my students say, how hard am I supposed to swing? Well, I don't know. Pros don't know. It's a guess. Some people are stronger than others. It's just practice. So how hard to swing, that's a guess. But all I want to do is get it on the putting surface. It's a par 5. This is my 3rd shot. Again, I've got my 56-degree wedge. I'm going to play the ball back in my stance off the inside right knee. My hands will be under my chin, and I'm going to hinge my wrist back and through it. How far to bring the club back? That's a guess on my part, okay? So I've got my alignment. I picked my spot out. And the main thing is, let's just get it on the putting surface. So ball position inside right knee. Take a couple practice swings here. Okay, see what we can do here. Just somewhere on the green will do. Get by the hole. Right back the hole, not bad. Okay, I got it on the putting surface. That was my next step. Now, hopefully I can 1-putt. If not, take your 2-putt, get your par, get my par, and go on to the next hole. Let's go see what we can do. So I've given myself about a 7-foot downhill putt. Let's take the flag stick out. Now, first thing I want to do is look between the cup itself and the ball to try to read the undulation in the green, if there's a lot of breaks, so forth and so on. This putt from here, obviously it's downhill, it should break a little bit from my right to left. Yeah, right to left. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the ball. Now with putting, it doesn't matter how you stand or how you grip the club. Keep your wrist stiff and firm, your head, your eyesight over the ball, and bring the putter straight back and straight through it. Now on the golf ball, this is a Titleist Pro VX. It already has little arrows on it. I tell my students, if you think it's going to go straight in, you take the arrows on the golf ball and you aim the arrows straight at the hole. If you think it's going to break, let's say right to left 2 inches, you aim the arrows 2 inches out to the right of the hole. Now I think it's going to break about 2 inches from right to left. So I aim the arrow on the golf ball about 2 inches to the right of the hole. Now it's downhill. These greens here at Homestead Golf Course are very nice, very fast greens. This course is in excellent, excellent condition. So I'm just going to tap the ball. I want to get it close to the hole. If it does go in, it's a bonus. I got a birdie. If not, tap it in, take my 5, go to the next hole. Wrist stays stiff and firm, but it doesn't matter how you stand or how you grip the club when you putt. So I'm going to keep that putter head low and slow, straight back, straight through it. And just tap it. We got it. Here we go. So we got a birdie. That's how you get a 4 on a challenging par 5. We'll be right back with more golf tips. Welcome back. I hope everyone has enjoyed today's show, but before I end, I want to answer a few of my callers that have called in and asked some golf questions. One of my callers, his name was Matt Detweiler. Hi, Matt. You had called in and you'd said you were hitting the golf ball close to the heel of the club. And there could be 2 things you're probably doing. You're either losing your balance on the downswing, leaning out, or you're standing too close to the ball when you address the ball. So I grabbed a 7-iron. First thing I want you to do is when you go out to play or out to practice, make sure you line the ball up off the center of the club face. Now, distance from the golf ball, your hands are below your chin, and if you got your hands below your chin and the club's in back of the ball, you have the proper distance from the golf ball. So make sure your hands are right below your chin. I don't want you standing on top of the ball or reaching for the ball. Proper distance, hands under your chin, club head and back the ball, and you're going to line the golf ball up off the middle or center of the club face. Now, when you swing through the shot, make sure that your hands finish around by your left shoulder, left ear. Okay, we're going to flatten your swing out. I'm not sure if you got a very upright swing down and through it, losing your balance. But it's around and through. Hands finish around by your left shoulder, left ear. Feet are shoulder width for balance. The 4 through the 9-iron, try to line the ball up off the middle or center of the stance, Matt. With your woods, it's a little bit different. If you're a right-handed golfer, you line the ball up off the inside left heel. So I hope that helped you. Now I had another caller. His name is Ron Rittenhouse from Rittenhouse Resort. Hi, Ron. You called in and you asked me about proper tee height when you tee up your driver. Now I've covered that on various shows, and I'm going to show you again. When you tee it up, you want half the ball above this top edge of the club head, the driver, half into the club face. Never tee it up low, never tee it up extremely high. You'll probably pop it up in the air, and you don't want to do that. So about half the ball above the top edge of the club head, half into the club face. That's proper tee height. Now, give you a little bit more advice here, a little bit more golf tips. You want to play the ball if you're inside left heel. Now I'm going to assume you're a right-handed golfer. If you're a left-handed golfer, it's just the opposite of what I just said. But play the ball forward in your stance off the inside left heel. Your feet are shoulder width. And as I mentioned to Matt, you want to make sure your hands are right under your chin, club head and back the ball, and that gives you the proper distance from the golf ball. So now you know the proper tee height when teeing up. Okay, I had another caller, Johnny Cooper. Johnny, you called in and said you're about a 4 handicap. That's pretty daggone good. but you mentioned to me that lately you've been hitting behind the ball. You've been hitting the ball fat or heavy. So let's go ahead and cover that. Now again, I'm going to assume you're a right-handed golfer. If you're a left-handed golfer, it's just the opposite. You're hitting behind the ball. You either again have a steep backswing that I just talked about, or your right shoulder is dropping on the downswing. Now, a lot of my students, when they hit it fat or heavy, what I see is they want to help that ball up. They drop their right shoulder and they hit behind it about a ½ inch. So you don't want to come down and try to help it up. Your shoulders more or less stay level and you turn through the shot. Shoulders level and you turn. Your hands will come around by your left shoulder, left ear, if you're a right-handed golfer. So with this motion, you're going to sweep through the shot to get the ball off of the turf. So it's just arms and turn. But if you come back, arms and drop down, right shoulder drops, you're going to hit it fat or heavy. Just the opposite, if a person tops the ball, what they're doing on the downswing, their left shoulder is dominant and they will top it or hit it low. They pull up. The golf swing again is around and through. So Johnny, what I want you to do is go out in your backyard, just take some practice swings, try to flatten your swing out, and your hands come around by your left shoulder, left ear. Now my last caller, he called in and he said his name was Diamond Dave. So Diamond Dave, thanks for calling in. You called in and said with the wedge, you like to play the ball forward in your stance, but your buddies tell you to play it back, and you want to know the reason why. Well, Diamond Dave, you play the ball back in your stance because you want to come down at a steep angle, and that'll pinch the shot, hopefully get some backspin on the ball. By playing the ball forward in your stance, you'll come through it and maybe hit it thin. Your wedge, your sand wedge, those are the shortest clubs in your bag. So you're going to have to reach for the ball if you play the ball forward in your stance. So your buddies are right. Play the ball off your inside right knee if you're a right-handed golfer. Hands are below your chin. Back with the arms. You'll come down at more of a descending blow with the wedge, and your hands will finish around by your left shoulder, left ear. So Diamond Dave, I hope that helped you on your golf swing. I like your name. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and join me next time on Golf Tips with teaching professional Gary Bauer.